Let's see.
So let's see.
Switch? Yes. No, I don't think so. I think we're just gonna go into the map. Anais has switched to profile picture, so that means we must be ready to go.
Always.
Always. Yes. So you know what? I will not pick sides. I'll keep my Sakura Blossom. But,
very nice.
Yeah. Let's get in there. Okay. So Lijiang. Personally, I enjoy Night Market the most. I don't know which one is your favorite.
I love Control Center. I love the brawliness of it right there, man of class. I'm a tank main. I have to love Control Center right there. But I think that there's a lot of opportunity for Night Market. Let's see where... Hey, there we go. They must have heard you. We are headed over to Night Market first. And I wouldn't be surprised if we still do see a lot of Reinhardt play from both of these teams. That does seem to be the favored main tank as of right now. But we have even seen Nick throw out the Wrecking Ball. That would be an absolute blast to watch. What's the craziest comp you think you could come up with?
Right now, I think a lot of these teams really, I mean, especially Team Aris, would really like to maybe run a Mei here. There is a lot of choke points, especially if you win that first fight, you can just hold them in their noodle shop. But you know, there's also opportunities for no, I mean, they might want to stay there, but if they want to go there, you say no, it's cold outside. There's a wall here. Just go back to noodles. Yeah, so like right now we don't see the Mei coming out just yet. Actually, both these teams opting for again the heavy tanks, as you said, they've been favoring those. But it's actually this time Team Aris that goes to a 3 support, triple tank composition. Not with the Zenyatta, with the Moira instead. Or this might have to do with their substitute. They will still run the Diva though, so there might still be some eating potential. On the other side though, in the blue, they'll run with this Hanzo McCree.
Interesting. So that Moira will be quite good at dodging all of that. Oh, the Moira does fall.
As you say that.
After you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's like I try to abuse my caster curve. She said, like, let's just roll with it. I'll see what curse today. That's fine. Marzipan just taking down one after another. Kuma had, of course, the beautiful anti-nade finish on Anais there. This will be a pretty quick and relatively easy cap here for Gravitas, but it's sure not over by a long shot. Even though the stats are in their favor, you don't always have to win the map if you got the first pick.
Absolutely not, but Marzipan is definitely making a case for it. Already has that Dragon Strike available after that first fight due to that aggression, being able to hit all of those shots so consistently. Yoda now is on the Sombra, going to try to disrupt that as much as possible, probably hack Nick, the center of this entire comp, but once again, Marzipan just popping off, taking out Zinganza on that McCree.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going through the high ground, which is always very good to do. You don't open up yourself to earth shatters, a lot of other things, like even the dragon's gotta be harder to hit when it's vertical.
Yes.
But yeah, Yodam now on the Sombra tries to not go for the backline. Actually, he just walks with Zarya forward. Another approach, interesting approach for a Sombra player. But we'll see some earth shatter battles here, and it looks like Nick is winning it so far. But there was a counter shatter from Yenos also getting some value. So the trades are coming out. The supports have died on Gravitas. That might be more important than losing your main tank.
I would agree, especially when you lose both of them, but Kuma will be coming back. Will it be enough? No. Right now, Team Aris just has too much damage, and there's not enough support on the side of Gravitas to counter it. So at 68%, the point is flipped for Team Aris, who will have a Graviton Surge of their own and an EMP extremely soon, but look at Gravitas. 5 ultimates all set. This is going to be a blast for this team. Now the order and the patience of which they use these ults is going to determine whether or not they're able to take this point back.
They use the Graviton and the Dragon straight away. That's an ultimate combo that's been working out for them very well. They don't need anything else. They still have 3 in the bank. They're going to be very happy doing it. And yeah, you can have 3 supports. That's fine. I mean, it doesn't matter. They actually had only 2 left. But, you know, if those supports aren't able to actually live through a Graviton Dragon, then what do you really have the supports? You can't really heal through it all of the time, so it's gonna be hard for them. They do have the support ultimates up now, so they're gonna be able to sustain a little bit more, but so do Kuma and Shadow Kitten. So it's a fairly even matchup here, ultimate-wise, but that EMP could change everything with one click of the button.
Absolutely. Shadow Kitten's job is to stay out of that EMP, so when it happens, he can counter it as much as possible.
And that's not the case. Yenos does get shattered with the rest of the team, but doesn't matter when there's not enough follow-up. Marzipan gets a few consolation kills, but with Nick going down, finally this will be the point retake for Team Aris, and they will still have a Shatter in their pocket. Yes, on the other hand though, there is also ultimates up for the defense, or the attack now.
Yes, and with one team fight win condition coming in for Gravitas to take this first point, it's going to be very important for Aris to stay vigilant, to try to bait out as many of these ultimates as quickly as possible, especially that nano boost. But hey, also taking out the heroes with those ultimates will work.
It will definitely work. Zinganza just being a bit more annoying in the backline now. Also, sometimes going forward, but is really making Marzipan and Sam just turn around a lot. Now has the pulse bomb available. Will probably come out soon. But Yodam and Zinganza just not fighting with the front line is proven very distracting for the DPS of Gravitas. Andraste being very high charged. Pulse bomb not getting any value, and Jenos gets corralled into the enemy team, has to get out of there and doesn't get out of there alive. Nick with the nano shatter just gets Linda, gets Tripit probably soon as well. Yoda mentions translocate out, but you gotta contest pretty quickly. Only 70% of that EMP as well, so really needs to build it up as soon as possible in order to get any value out of this map.
And the point will be able to flip over to Gravitas. There is still a bit of time to contest. It is overtime though, and Jenos is taken out very quickly. Sound Barrier will allow for a stall, maybe an opportunity for Aris to come back in.
Yeah, Aris may be coming back in. Nope, that Graviton will just keep them out of there, and that will be the first stage going over to Team Gravitas, going up 1-0 on Lijiang, and one stage closer to winning the series.
Absolutely, and you do also have to just shout out the supports on Gravitas. You did see that when they were picked off initially, it's so difficult for the rest of their team to sustain. That is to be expected, but there's been hero plays from both Kuma and Shadow Kitten. They have been phenomenal. Kuma will be flexing onto the Zenyatta, it does look like, as we head over to Control Center, home of these heavy tanks that I know and love. We will be seeing both a Zarya and a Reinhardt on both ends, but once again, Zinganza on that McCree and Marzipan on the Hanzo. It's going to be fun seeing these hit scan heroes up against each other.
Yeah, one staple pick, Sam of the Junkrat here, that's definitely gonna get a lot of value here with all these tight corridors, a lot of spam into the shields. Jenos going very far forward without the rest of the team there, and that immediately ends to the death. Well, it goes to the death of Jenos, really. And now they just have to try and recontest here without a Reinhardt, and you see them already being very defensive. They don't want to go any deeper than they need to. Zinganza gets close to Nick and actually almost takes Nick out with a few right clicks, but is not able to do it properly, and now they're just gonna have to wait and go again later when Zinganza's back.
Yes, there's just so much control of space with this Junkrat from Sam and a lot of shield breaking potential, and Andraste taking out Yodam is also definitely a detriment to Team Aris with amazing follow-up coming in from Marzipan. Yes, Sam is taken out, but right now the advantage is still for Gravitas. Yodam will swap over to Afara, which will provide a lot of that burst damage.
Oh, that shatter from Jenos. The follow-up isn't there. It gets Nick, though. That's actually really beautiful, because even though Andraste has a lot of charge here, Anis is ahead in the ultimate game for the Zaryas. They do not want to push in this, because they don't have the shielding, but they could really go for quick recontest here, because Nick went down after Jenos. The chooses played a little bit slower, so they won't actually be able to do it, but they're gonna try.
Yes, and here comes that Reptire. This is a team-winning ultimate right now. Let's see who it goes for.
It goes for Anis, gets Anis as well. We see the Zinganza flank High Noon, only gets Shadow Kit, not a lot of value from that ultimate. And really, they haven't really done much with this push that they've been doing. They really walked in very slowly, but they got taken out, and now they're all dead.
Yes, they're lacking a little bit of that sense of agency we were seeing earlier from Team Aris, especially on King's Row, that motivation. So as time is starting to run out, I am anticipating, especially with the swap on the Reaper, to have a bit more of a brawl coming up. There are 4 ultimates on the side of Gravitas to try to counteract this upcoming aggression.
As Zinganza not choosing to go for a flank this time, actually chooses to go forward into the enemy team. Gets taken out by Andraste. Meanwhile, the Graf Dragon got the value onto Yodam. Tripit also falling, and it's 6-3. This really should not be Gravitas' map to lose. It should be theirs to win. And even though the graviton from Aris is very enveloping for the enemy team, it's not going to be enough to properly hold off this point. We know it's never over with these teams, but this really seems like dire straits for Team Aris.
Absolutely. Yodom does have that rocket barrage, but it does not get anyone, and we will be able to announce that Gravitas is the victor of this extremely close matchup. Extremely well played Overwatch coming in from both teams. It's so wonderful to see these two match up against each other.
And that means that ADM Gravitas and Andromeda Gravitas will move on to face Spider Lilies for the lower bracket finals. And the winner of that, obviously, matching up against Andromeda Void in order to see who actually wins this entire tournament. But yeah, with this wonderful play of Marzipan, we can really see why in the end they were able to drag out the victory there for Team Gravitas. It was a little bit of a close affair in King's Row. A lot of effort also expended on Rialto, but really they had a fairly convincing win there on Lijiang.